Okay, start over, because
Lulu is censoring herself for the remainder of this episode because she feels like being shy, which is the topic of our night, of our video. How to deal with anxiety around people and how to deal with not feeling shy around strangers. Go, take it away.
Okay, so first and foremost, we were out dancing in the park, and I met this guy, and he was like, I don't know, I'm just hyping him up. We're having fun, sharing the the Plur Never Party Alone vibes, and he's like, man, I'm surprising myself. I'm actually an introvert, and I told him that you're only an introvert around the people and at the places where you're probably not meant to be. When you're at a place where you're meant to be, that's when you come alive. And so a lot of times people force themselves into these positions. I mean, maybe you're having some type of like anxiety at a rave, right, around a lot of people, but that's kind of just a story you're telling yourself. So each time you say, I have anxiety when I get around a lot of people, I have anxiety, even if you could drop that habit, each time you say it to yourself, say it aloud, tell it to a friend, you're recreating that in your reality. So it starts with first getting a pen and paper, and I promise you, there's a lot of Harry Potter level magic you can do with reality creation in your life that just involves a pen and some damn paper. So get a pen and paper and ask yourself on this subject, how would I like things to be? And if you want, you can put it in your bathroom mirror or in your car dashboard, someplace where you frequently are able to put your focus. Because in our first episode, we talked about how a lot of reality creation has to do with where you place your focus and paying attention to how you feel. And so, speaking of which, if you're focusing on the idea of not being able to represent your full or best self around a crowd of people, even though human beings are very social creatures, then ask yourself, how does it feel to have to deal with that? In your solar plexus, your core, the pit of your stomach, when you go on a date and you get those butterflies, yes, that's your solar plexus. What you're feeling is an interpretation of energy. And your energy about that specific perspective doesn't feel good, which is why when you say it, when you think about it, it doesn't really feel good. So you have to first be able to shift your focus in a way that on this subject, your energy feels better. So as I said, get a pen and paper, ask yourself, how would you like it to be? Write it down, say it out loud, and then just set the intention. And intentions are the closest thing to literally speaking what you want into reality. If you can't say it's gonna happen, because confidence is everything. If you say like, this is gonna happen, I am gonna get this. The universe takes that energy and it's like, oh, bam, done. So if you aren't at that level of modifying your belief systems, you can go, I set the intention to. And it's much better than hoping or wishing it happens. So, something you want to add on that?
Yeah, a friend once told me that we all deal with anxiety, that everyone just deals with it in their own way. She was like, you, Lulu, you introduce yourself to everybody and say your name. And in some sense, I had never thought about it that way, but I do like to introduce myself to everyone when I'm in a room so that I don't feel awkward as we're enjoying our night. And she said she has to drink a few drinks in order for herself to feel comfortable. And when she said that, I thought to myself, well, if we're all really dealing with the same thing, our best solution is probably when we enter a room, remember that we're all the same and we're not like different from each other. And if I'm in my own brain about my own insecurities or whatever I'm feeling, then clearly everyone around is also on that same frequency. So another thing that I think really helps is owning the room before you go into there. Meditate, clear your mind, clear your thoughts. Like Herman said, either write down how you want it to be or literally just neutralize your energy and meditate before you go into a room. And if you don't write it down, definitely out loud set the intention. Once you've neutralized your energy, tell yourself, you know what, today is going to be a great day. And everyone that's around me was not only meant to be around me, but we attracted each other in that moment. If I'm at a place and you're at a place, it's because the universe decided that we were supposed to be there together. So what not better than to actually embrace the experience and treat it as something magical instead of thinking that it's something to bring anxiety to you. Anyway, that's my take on anybody who's anxious and comes around people.
Yeah, but by being anxious is also kind of speaking that you're not trusting that what's for you is on its way or is happening. You know, there's this one person where there's just a negative Nancy Debbie Downer, and if you told them that reality is not this realistic perspective that they share with you, that it's actually quite like beautiful, and it's almost like there's cheat codes, some consciousness working on your behalf behind the scenes of it all. But this is a free will based physical experience, and the phrase is we're so free we can choose bondage. So a lot of people will say things always go wrong in this way, people always are unworthy, and yeah, that may be a truth that you're experiencing because you're declaring it each time you bring it up, each time. Like having something that you don't want to be manifested in your physical reality bouncing around in your head is bad enough. Letting it leave your lips in a verbal form out loud, that is like literally the worst thing you can do. And so,
but equally the best thing, guys, our words have so much power. So yeah, make the choice to, if you're gonna say anything or think about something, let it be something that benefits us. Let it be something that like feels good to us. Herman's really good at his spell work. Like the things that he says, things he leaves come out of his mouth are always like intentions, goodwill intentions, always declaring his power, always declaring like what he wants. Like I'm learning from him. But yeah, definitely, if we have the power to manifest things we don't like, even more so we have the power to manifest things that we do want. So all we really have to do is shift our focus, which was part of the first video. Write down intentions, preset what is going to happen beforehand in your mind on paper, and then just trust that the universe is going to make it happen the best way possible. And any interaction we experience, anybody that comes around us, whether we like it or not, that's something that was created specifically by our higher power and our thoughts. Did that make sense? Yeah, I think so.
well, you know, trying to keep this short, beautiful, fun conversations. We're doing this to get into the habit of just sharing. And the idea is that when you take any tool, and the tool that we allowed to be our ally today was just an edible, but what it does is it releases resistance, and the way resistance plays out in the mind comes out as like guardedness, right? A lot of times we'll be out dancing and I'll see someone on the wall and I'll give them a compliment like, yo, your outfit looks bomb, right? You know, damn, that fit is sick, right? And I'm like, but you look way too fresh, you look way too beautiful to be standing on the wall not dancing. And a lot of times the response is like, let me get a shot or two, right? And what they're really saying is that I need something to help me to release the resistance that stops me from allowing myself to be my like energetic, like enthusiastic, childlike self. So the tools that we use to remove our resistance, which allows more beautiful thoughts and words and phrases to flow out of our lips. Today, we want to give our thanks to our sponsor, the edible.
Sponsor.
And you know, just a little quick background. This all started because
Thank you, Stizzy. Good looking out.
Our sponsor, Stacey, would like to give a personal thanks to them. So you know,
Our director Ashley, who used to work for you guys, but now
R.I.P. No, just playing. So we used to go on like jogging, right? We went to EDC and it kicked our asses, and we decided that we were gonna train for it. And so, as we would go out jogging 1 a.m., 2 a.m., midnight, it was very common. And of course, we had edibles, and we would have the most beautiful conversations. And so we just thought, after a lot of our friends would be in the same room with us as we're conversing about these perspectives of the laws of the universe, we just realized how beneficial it seemed to be to them, you know, unbeknownst to us, because we're like, this is common knowledge, but we didn't realize how powerful of an effect it had. So yeah, here we are sharing. Thank you for tuning in. We love you, and deuces.